everyone. Welcome to Worship Him. Today we are worshiping Him for a love that is not easily angered. And just remember that it is God's grace that bestows on each of us these gifts. It's not because we strive hard for it. It's because we receive it from Him by faith. And the point of these videos is to encourage faith and to grow faith that it's easier for us to receive from Him. So, yeah, let's get into it. So Proverbs 14:29. People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness. So a man of understanding is slow to anger. So if we're going to be understanding in a very pivotal time to be understanding, we need to get the anger out of us. So we're going to thank God that He's going to give us understanding hearts so we can be set free from anger. Proverbs 15:18. A hot-tempered person starts fights. A cool-tempered person stops them. So with all the dissension and all the craziness going on right now, we don't need more fights. We actually need more peace. We need more reconciliation. We need more agreeing to disagree kind of thing. Like we'll keep the relationship alive, but I don't necessarily see the way that you do. Like we need more of that today. And that's the way that things used to be. We used to have a cordial thing of like, I don't really agree with you, but you're still my friend and it's not going anywhere. So we need to thank Him that He's giving us the grace to not engage in fights, but to love one another as God has loved us, and so set us free from anger, because we don't need to be angry. Then Proverbs 29:22. Okay, an angry person starts fight, and a hot-tempered person commits all kinds of sins. So where there is anger that's not directed by God, there's also all kinds of sin. So we need to praise Him and worship Him again, that anger is broken off of us, because we don't want to be loaded down by sin, because sin is a heavy weight on our soul. Like a lot of people feel very broken and feel like they can't handle life because of sin. So if that's you, like we got to pray and worship Him that we get the anger out of our life, because it's a festing ground for sin. And we don't want to live in anger. We actually want to live in love. And that doesn't mean like there is a righteous anger. Like you can be mad at the alcohol that's destroying a person's life. You can be mad at that. But to be angry with the person who is bound by it, like that's not going to see them set free. You need to be praying for them. You need to be loving them if you want to see them set free. But you can be mad at the alcohol. You can be mad at the addiction, but it's love that's going to break the chain of that addiction and bring them into freedom. Okay, so Psalms 34:14. That's not the right verse. I'm going to have to go back and find it. Okay. Oh, I'm in Job. Okay. Psalms 34:14. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. So, basically, this verse is saying that anger does not lead to peace. So, if we want to be in a place of peace with one another, if we want to have a healthy society, it can't be done through anger. It has to be done through love, because love brings healing. Love makes whole. Anger breaks down and destroys. So, yeah, we're going to worship Him and praise Him for the grace to let go of anger and to forgive so we can be set free from it. Ephesians 4:26. And don't let anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you're still angry, and because anger gives a foothold to the devil. So first off, anger is controlling. Yeah, anger is it's a taskmaster, it's a slave driver, it's a dictator. Anger is a dictator. But but love isn't. Love is continually asking you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you choose? Love provides that freedom. Anger never will. Anger will say, this is your choice, but love will say, you have a choice. So yeah, and then the other thing is that it's a foothold for Satan. I mean, if you really want the guy in your life who wants you dead, you need a lot of prayer, actually. But the reality is that Satan wants you dead, and I mean, he's working to create the perfect environment to where we actually want to escape our pain, and take our life. But the reality is that there's always hope, and we don't need to go to that extremity because Jesus already did, and because Jesus already did, there's hope to be free from that bondage into life. Okay, and Colossians 3:8. But now is the time to get rid of anger, rage, malice behavior, slander, and dirty language. So here's the reality. Dirty language lines right up with anger. So part of getting rid of anger is getting rid of language that isn't appropriate. It's dirty, it's cussing, it's slandering people, it's tearing them down, all of that. Like, that's a sign that there's an anger issue, and that anger issue is destroying you. And you're people who deal with anger are most likely angry at themselves more than anything. So we're going to worship him for us to be set free from anger, but also for others to be set free from anger, because it really is a prison, and we don't want people to be locked up in a prison. We want them to be free and loved by him. So let's worship him.